But in the meantime, even better, guess who's in the studio? It's the Sun's brilliant TV critic, Ali Ross. Morning, Ali.
Good morning, Kevin. You're quite the movable feast.
I am, Ali. Yeah, you can never tell where I am.
Flipping whack-a-mole here.
Yeah, well, I popped up very early this morning.
Oh,
let's talk about the BBC. There's been a mass revolt of 2.8 million viewers who claim they don't need to pay the BBC licence fee anymore. In fact, they don't. Last year, the BBC collected licence fees from 23.5 million people. That was a drop of nearly 500,000 from the previous year's figure, and it's going down and down and down. So now 2.84 million more people insist they will not be paying for their licence. So the BBC clinging to this licence like a dog to a bone, but they may find that that's not enough because people are just saying, enough!
Yeah.
You know, you're not worth £159.50.
And you cannot blame them at all. I always thought it was going to be a slow death with the BBC because no government wants to get a grip of this.
Yeah.
And the rules have changed since streaming services came in and people can just take their custom elsewhere, and yet we're duty-bound to still pay for this service, this state broadcaster every year, which just isn't producing the goods.
It's not, is it? I mean, because, you know, a lot of people say, well, I prefer Netflix, I prefer Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. I mean, and I personally prefer all of them because they offer better entertainment than the BBC. BBC always says, OK, it's £159.50, but for that, we deliver amazing value for money. We still make brilliant programmes. Do they?
No.
Do they?
The reason I think so many of us still do pay it is nostalgia. And
habit.
This is the BBC we remember, but it's just not like that.
And they trade off that, don't they?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
You know, with the statement.
If you ask
people love us.
Ask to conjure up an image of the BBC, you'll immediately have Attenborough in your head. He's 96, 97 now.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
You cannot rely on him forever.
Yeah.
And you've probably got Morecambe and Wise capering around in your mind's images as well.
Yeah.
And which is why a lot of us grew up loving the BBC, but think of comedy now on the network. It's almost non-existent.
Yeah.
It was the first casualty of the culture wars, but by no means the last. Then it took drama. News is now completely unreliable. I certainly don't go to the BBC for my news.
Yeah, I think
the one thing, in fact, it would be easier to list the things it still does well, which is real-life crime dramas. And you probably saw that with The Sixth Commandment.
Yeah, that was good.
It's because you can't actually tinker with that. This is based on a real story.
And what was that rather good...
You can't spin it in any of the ways the BBC would like to.
What was that rather good war series they did? Not World on Fire. That's a really bad war series.
Yeah, that's where it's given some artistic license, and of course...
What was that good one they made?
Well, it did the SAS.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good, the drama about the founding of the SAS.
That, of course, was based on fact.
Yeah.
World on Fire is just the BBC imagining the war as it would like to be, which is basically India beating Germany and England.
Well, I like the fact that only BBC journalists think that they have an unrivaled reputation for impartiality and unbiased reporting. They think that that's what everyone thinks of them. I've got bad news for them. We think exactly the opposite. Well, they're an insular cult, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. You just need to look at a Justin Rowlett report.
Yeah. By the way, Mike Graham's in the studio. Morning, Mike.
These are my opinions, but they're also facts as well.
A bit early for you, isn't it?
I'm an early bird, thank you. I've been for a swim this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
What, in the Thames?
Yeah, he came across the Thames, yeah. The Tower Bridge is up.
You just walk across the water like you normally do.
Such is my love of this show.
I know. It's a thing of great beauty. I thought we were the only people that had the reputation for absolute and utter unbiased reporting, Kevin.
Well, I don't even pretend.
Is there not a list or something that we could be on?
Yeah, the most biased.
Justin Rowlett, though, what a great guy.
Well, if that's what you're trying to do, I'll be off.
He's never seen Sunshine he doesn't like.
Yeah, yeah.
Every time he sees the sun, he has to go out and get on a plane and fly there to say, it's very sunny here.
He's a
very
sun
hot.
worshipper.
Well, I went to Devon this weekend, North Devon, and I was so worried about global boiling when I took my dog for a walk on the beach. It was torrential rain, if I may say so, freezing cold, and a mere matter of 65-mile-an-hour gales. It was a hell scene.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky. I was in Edinburgh at the weekend, right, where it was even colder.
Yeah.
You know, walking through the Edinburgh Festival and all the tents and everything.
I find anything above 16 really too
high, yeah. You're
stifling.
Because you were brought up in a fridge, the fridge they call Scotland, right?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought, because you came out at night and it's dark and it's raining, and I thought, this could be October. That's how cold
You're
it was.
making me very homesick there, Michael.
Yeah.
Let me ask you one more question, television question, Ali, another story that's cropped up this morning. The BBC has encouragingly pledged to stop screening so many foreign cartoons. Why did they screen any in the first place?
Weirdly, that made me feel a bit nostalgic as well. I grew up with Czechoslovakian cartoons on the BBC and things like Nog in the Nog and the Singing Ringing Tree.
Asterisk.
Yeah,
Or whatever his
really
name was.
weird Polish cartoons.
Yeah. But now it's all Pokemon and it's all kind of Japanese,
Yeah.
you know, macrame or whatever they call it. What do they call it? Anime. Macrame, you know.
Macrame? I don't know.
It's a, it's a basket weaving thing.
Yeah.
Cartoon. Very good.
I remember that.
We don't sound 1,000 years old at all.
Yeah,
Not at all.
but I remember all those weird Eastern European cartoons.
They haunt
used
my
to sort of-
dreams.
they used to invent stories to them, give them a kind of English narrative.
And have weird music.
Yeah.